So hey, this is Dustin again. So before I discuss about anything in this video, I just want to first mention that right now it's like past 6 in the morning, which you can kind of tell by looking out the window behind me. So I'm in my living room upstairs. Right now my grandma is like in her bedroom, which she was asleep then, but she's now awake and watching TV or doing whatever. And also I kind of told her she needs to keep it down with the TV and with her inhaler machine because she has bronchitis. And it's hard for me to concentrate to have like peace and quiet when I need to record right now. As for my mom, she decided to come back after we thought she moved up, and now she's back in her house again, and she's sleeping in the guest room. And right now, I would have said I would keep my voice down, but since my grandma's awake, I don't think it really matters at this point. But I did tell her not to interrupt me since I have to do this because this is really important, and she understands what I'm supposed to be talking about. But so also just to let you know, if you notice, I kind of got a bit of a haircut since like a few weeks ago, just because my hair was just like bothering with my eyes. I want to have a new look before I get my YouTube channel started, anyways. But oh yeah, and also I took a shower the other day just because I haven't did it in a couple of weeks, all because of my insomnia, and also because of one other reason, which is what I'm gonna be discussing about in this video. So the thing is, I'm bringing all this personal stuff up is because my grandma and I have been going through so much suffering for over a month, and it's kind of screwing up with our schedules and all this stuff at our house, and I'll explain why. So not only that, but there's also a reason why I haven't updated my channel yet to start my movie review series. And so the explanation for all of this is because since at the end of June, I told my grandma that I want a Sony Ficus Pro 16 because the thing is, I used to use a Sony Ficus Pro 11 like years ago, back in 2012 when I was in high school, when I was in my field production class, when I made like 2 short films, and they used to be on my old channel, which of course is not there anymore. But either way, I had experience with using that type of program before. But either way, I was hoping I would get it pretty soon. My grandma decided to like order it on eBay, which cost like about $5. And so we had to wait for like a week or so. And when it finally came in, we got like a digital code where you can just, like copy and paste it and then just transport it from my grandma's phone onto my laptop, which, by the way, my laptop is a Windows 10 HD notebook, which costs like about $1,000, I believe. I haven't used it in the last few years or so, but either way, um, my grandma had to order all this stuff and to contact this owner through her phone, and of course, so we thought it would be simple, right? Because when you want to download something like a movie editing software of any kind, you would think that once you download something, then you wait till it's done loading, and then you have to open up a file. You think it's simple as that, right? Well, unfortunately, this was not the case for me because as we tried this for the first time, the file would not open up for some reason after we downloaded it for the first time, and we tried to do it again like more than a few times to see that maybe we don't know if there's a little bit of a fluke with the download, or we just had to refresh the computer for whatever reason. We tried, and yet it keeps doing it over and over again. So, of course, my grandma had to talk to this owner through the email on her phone about our dilemma, and she keeps asking him a bunch of questions about why this keeps on happening. So we try to look for other alternative steps or other instructions to make sure if anything can work with our problem. We tried everything. Not only that, but there are times where he wouldn't reply to us like in the next several hours or so. And I was getting to a point where I was getting very annoyed because after a whole week of reattempting to open up the file and re-downloading that code again, I was thinking maybe I was just gonna decide to see if I could download it for free, right? So despite that it costs like $5, since that's not a lot of money anyway, so we're not worried about not getting a refund. It's not a big deal if we don't get our money back. It's not a lot anyways, but the thing is, I decided to take matters to my own hands. I decided to go on to YouTube, watch a bunch of what do you call it, those tutorial videos where you get to watch all the steps of how the person would try to download the Sony Ficus Pro 16 for free on any websites. And I've tried them already, but for some reason, whenever I try to open up a download link, they always tell me I need a flash player, which is something that none of these YouTube videos I saw ever informed me about. And I try to look up all the comments and see if there's any concerns from any concerned users who have either complained or said if something worked or not. I wasn't really sure if these steps are legit or not, or if they're not like scams or whatever. So either way, I didn't think I needed a flash player in order to download a software, but when I think about it, I think it does make a lot of sense because some programs do need flash players, obviously. I was thinking maybe it's time for me to download one. So I did try to download an Adobe Flash Player on my computer, and the good news is I did enable it and installed it into my computer. So I thought that would work. And even after all that, I tried to see if I can reopen my software, I guess, to Sony Ficus Pro 16, and yet it does it again. So I don't know what the hell was happening. I was getting more than impatient by that point, and I was thinking either I'm going crazy or maybe these codes were not legit, and maybe these owners that we bought these codes from were some kind of a scam, or maybe my computer could have been the issue, but we weren't sure. But of course, at the time, we didn't think it could be the computer that was our problem. Sorry, I meant my laptop, is what I meant. So either way, since my grandma and I didn't know what to think of this situation, we decided to contact the Geek Squads at our local Best Buy store. We went there, like, I think it was like more than a few weeks ago, which was back in July. We tried to, so far we set up an appointment, right? There was only one female employee who was available, so we met with her during the afternoon, and so we talked about what the issue was. I brought my laptop with me, and I showed her what the issues are. And so we went through a few steps, right? So she told me to, like, I think if I recall, I think she told us to, like, turn off, or, sorry, I meant to delete our antivirus software completely. So at first we thought we needed the antivirus software because my guy was always telling me you needed it just in case. And that's true, but even when I look at all those YouTube videos that are saying that you must turn off your antivirus software in order to make your Sony Ficus Pro download work, I was starting to think that maybe they had a point because, as they explained, that if you have your antivirus software turned on, then whenever you download any link that is foreign to the antivirus software, then it doesn't recognize it and it doesn't know if it's legit or not. So it won't allow me to download anything or whatever. And so I thought maybe that really could be the problem. Maybe they were onto something this whole time and we just didn't realize it. So she didn't know what to think. So she decided, yeah, maybe it'll be best we just delete your antivirus software, which we did. And so yeah, we did some of that. And then I think after that, she tries to look up a few things. I guess I didn't really pay attention and I felt bad about it. But for the most part, she did look up a few things, told us how we should open up certain files or install certain things. And then after all that, she did try to open up... No, sorry, I mean, she didn't open up her file, but she did start the code, which I copy-paste from my grand's email on her phone and transport it onto my phone before I copy-paste it onto the email on my iPhone, and then it would transport onto my laptop. So she looked at my email on my laptop and noticed the code, right? And at first she decided to take my laptop and ask one of her employees or whoever was in charge to see if it's legit or not. And then when she came back, she said she had no clue to tell whether it's legit or not, and she advised us to just like take a few advices from her, and to maybe to just contact our owner from eBay and see if he has an answer for all of this, because we were starting to think that he's scamming us and he's not the real deal. Especially when you think about it, for a Sony Focus Pro, you know, they're usually like very expensive. They're like literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars to pay online, especially with Amazon. But I would thought, I mean, when you think of something that's cheap for something that's supposed to be originally expensive, then you would think it may not be legit when you think about it, because it just sounds too good to be true, right? So even though we didn't know what to think of all this, we decided to just try out and see if we could contact the guy and make sure whether or not he was like being honest with us, or maybe he was real deal, but just didn't realize that the code he had might have been not legit and didn't realize it. So she did try to contact this guy. Of course, he hadn't responded in like a day or so. And I guess after all that, when he couldn't respond to us, she decided to try to call the Best Buy on their phone number, I guess. And when she told them about our issue with this owner, they said they would inform him about it to force him to contact us. But then all of a sudden, this guy decided to just cancel on us. And I don't know whether we got a refund or not. I don't recall. But all I know is that I guess we're just done talking to this guy, because he wants nothing to do with us, apparently. Again, I don't know if maybe I don't know if he really did cancel on us, or maybe eBay canceled on him just because they have some kind of policy where you're like not supposed to like, you know, make your customer wait for more than a week or so, or about a month. And when you're getting no progress done, if you're having issues, and I think they will have the right to cancel the owner if you're having issues with them, if you're not satisfied, especially when you get a refund after all of this. But either way, when we were done with that person, we were just at the point where we're just like, we don't even know what the hell we're even doing now. And we just thought maybe we can just go to my aunt's place in Blaine, right? And so we went to her place just to meet my uncle, who was there because he has used computers before, and but of course at the time he was like resting in his bedroom. He didn't want to be bothered, and it was getting kind of late at the time, while my grandma and I were just visiting my aunt there. And so I thought maybe anyone there at our house can help us with our situation on my laptop. And even Jim wouldn't seem to understand our situation. I mean, we wanted to ask for his help, but he was too tired and it just didn't work out. And even my grandma was thinking, I don't know if he even knows the answer to this or not. Because if a Geek Squad employee doesn't have the answers for you, then who wouldn't? Maybe he wouldn't get it either, because he have never done any downloads like these before when it comes to fail editing softwares, apparently. But so either way, I guess we've tried everything. There's no one in our family who knows about any expert input with computers or whatnot. But either way, we were just thinking at the point where, you know what, we were just so fed up with everything that we just couldn't wait any longer. So we decided to go back and meet with the Geek Squad employee one last time a week later. And when we met with her again, I will say that she did decide to just actually see us take care of the laptop ourselves. So instead of her trying to investigate on our laptop, I decided I think it'd be best if I just try to demonstrate the download to her. So I literally opened up like my email where there's a code, where I clicked that link so I can open up the download on the Google Drive. And once I open it up and view the downloads, we had to wait for a long time. And when she looked at it, she was very flabbergasted and really confused by all of this. And why would she be confused? Well, simply put, according to her, she said it was too advanced. So apparently she had no idea what she was doing I was getting really fed up by this point. I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. So basically, I'm sorry, that was my grandma. She just had to go to the bathroom. You know what? I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt this video right now, but I did tell her I don't want her to get out of the bedroom and interrupt me, but I guess she just can't help herself. So, you know what? I don't really care what happens. If she makes a bunch of sounds in the kitchen or whatever, just ignore it. I'm still recording. Okay, so anyways, back to what I was saying. The thing is, what I'm basically saying is that she just couldn't help us. So, I mean, I would be pissed about it, but I know she's a nice person. She tried her best. I really thought that maybe the reason why she said it was too advanced is because maybe the fact that since I would assume that maybe some of the fakuses are just have higher quality, I assumed. Maybe their tools are advanced, which is why the download format was complicated to her. Because she said she'd never seen it like it before in her life. So I was want to be sure, is it just her or are there other Geeks or employees we could contact that'll help us with? And she's like, honestly, I hardly doubt that anybody will understand the situation because we, in our policy, have never dealt with anything like this before. So, of course, I didn't want to argue, so I just thought, you know what, whatever, I guess you tried your best. So, at least you were helpful for the most part. So, I don't really know what to say. I'm actually really blown away by all of this. Okay, maybe I didn't say it like that to her, but still, I told her that at least I appreciate that she tried her best, even though I was pissed off by that point. And she did at least wish me luck and said she'll probably check out my YouTube channel because I advised her about it. So after that freaking ordeal, when nothing seems to be having any progress whatsoever, we were just at the point where we didn't know what to do. And despite wasting most of our summer, or the most of the whole month of July apparently, so my grandma and I decided that we should just buy the same product but from a different owner on eBay. So she thought we could just buy some on Amazon instead, but the thing is, um, when I went on Amazon, they were way too expensive, and I just couldn't go through all that just because my grandma is extremely concerned with our money, and she doesn't want to waste like say like maybe like more than $100 or so on anything. She's very tight when it comes to our budget. So either way, I don't want to force her to go through all of that. So we decided to see if there's anything cheap on eBay. And not only that, but to make sure if it's anything that'd be shipped that's more local and not from some other foreign country, say like China or India, whatever. Because most of these programs or these downloads have pretty much came from all these countries apparently. So far, I found one that's a little closer to us, which is from Toronto, Canada. And so we decided to order that. And when we did so, fortunately, it took us like about a day for, for the whole download to be delivered to us onto Grant's phone. And now we have a new code. And I thought, wow, that went really fast. Just because I'm from Minnesota, so it doesn't take that long to be delivered on the phone. But either way, so I was hoping, oh God, please let this work. And so for every single day and every single night, we've been praying to hope that something could work. And so we're hoping this will be our last chance to hope that maybe this will work this time, if it makes a difference. And so once we decide to open it up, I can tell that the megabytes are a lot different from the other one that we bought from. So I could tell this has to be legit. And the fact that it was going a lot faster, I had confidence in this one. But then, well, guess what? The same shit has happened to me again, and we just could not just open this file like we did with the last one. So I was just really mind blown by what was even happening. I, of course, complained to my grandma about this, and even she was shocked by all of this, and we were just thinking, what the hell is even going on right now? Because it cannot be a coincidence that this code from a different owner could have been scammed as the same with the other. I mean, it has to be some kind of a coincidence because I don't know why it's keep happening to us. I'm starting to think that maybe when you buy something that's cheap with your prices, maybe you can't even trust them, because that's what I was thinking. So I was thinking to myself, either they're the ones who are at fault, or there's something wrong with my laptop, because I was really just like, I didn't even have words to describe how bizarre and yet how frustrating the situation was. I I didn't really know what to think. So we decided to see if we can ask this guy some questions on my grandma's phone through the email. And so when we did try to contact the guy, we were finding some stats, but I feel like this was going nowhere. And when I decided to look on Grant's phone, look through her emails, I realized she was just cutting to the chase, keeping things brief, like one or two sentences, and she wouldn't even go into full details about her situation. So I was starting to think that maybe she's screwing everything up and she's not being too specific with this owner, and that's why this guy doesn't understand what's even happening. So I decided to be more informative with this guy, so I had to borrow her phone one time, which, again, this was by the end of July, by the way. And so I tried to be more detailed with him. I tried to type down all my thoughts. I decided to start from the beginning with our issues with the other owner and to explain that we followed these steps, but nothing has worked. But then I realized I couldn't send it in because it took forever. I was getting annoyed because I realized there was a word count. I couldn't put all my thoughts in there. So I went to my grandma's phone. I decided to no, sorry. Actually, I went to my phone. Then I had to type in all my thoughts down on my text message. Then I decided to send it to Grant's phone. And then when I did, unfortunately, all my words are broken up into smaller sections on the text message because her phone is not an iPhone. So her phone is different from mine, and I was really annoyed by this because I couldn't literally copy and paste all of that. So I realized instead of doing that, I literally had to just look at my phone and just type in everything and break it down step by step while I look at the words on my phone while doing so. And of course, once I'm done breaking all my words down into 4 parts, I thought he might get all of them, but for some reason it looked like he only read just one of them because not all of them got to go through. I was annoyed and I was afraid this guy wouldn't understand what I was talking about. So, of course, this guy decided to give me a few instructions, which, of course, he understand that none of those was even working. He was asking me to install what they called a WinRAR, and of course, it's already installed, but I cannot actually somehow try to open it. He told me I should open it, but I told him we can't do that. And I think I understand what he was coming from because I've seen all those videos on YouTube where they say that you can open up your WinRAR through a link, which we couldn't do, or you can still have the WinRAR in your download file, whatever, and then try to open up your Sony Vegas Pro again. Even that has no effect either because it made no difference. So I decided to ask him, first off, have you read all of my messages? Because I don't know if they went through. And I decided to let him know that we're desperate, we're upset. And I even explained to him that even at the time that my grandma was starting to have a brief panic attack at the time because, you see, I was so infuriated and so stressed out beyond belief that it really caused her to get triggered to have a panic attack because I was yelling, just swearing a lot, and I was wanting to punch something, and I kept telling her, why the hell is this happening to me? Why is God not helping me? And all that bullshit I said because I wasn't thinking straight. And I feel like I was losing my sanity because I feel like nobody can help us. None of the experts and the Geek Squad can help us. None of the owners who we had to bite this shit from couldn't give us real answers and decided to just give up on us. And so I was kind of at this point where I just couldn't take it anymore. And I did kind of feel bad that she went into this panic attack, but she did reassure me that it's not my fault. I mean, even before I freaked out, she said she was having issues with my mom causing shit and more negativity towards her because my mom does have little bipolar meltdowns when she's dealing with her own problems because she tried to move out, but the thing is, one of her friends kind of betrayed her and threw her out of his house or whatever. But anyways, I'm not gonna really discuss about that because that's really not important. I just want you to understand that my grandma was just stressed up because she has to deal with my mom's personal crap, and it's not me particularly that's the reason why I caused her to act like that. But either way, at least she calmed down afterwards. But anyways, I was just trying to explain all of this crap to him because I wanted to understand that we are just fed up with everything. We were kind of like at our breaking point. We just can't deal with any more bull crap. I feel like no one is literally giving us an answer by this point. And I don't even know why we even tried so hard to seek help when we don't get an answer for some reason. And I told him we prayed a lot and all this. And I told him I hope you could give us some kind of an answer because none of what you said helped us in this case. And when he finally responded, I guess I don't know whether he was just fed up with us or he was just being legit with us because after my complaint, he briefly said like this, and he just said, "I'm so sorry, but I cannot help you in this case." And then I think he said about that he's like, "You have yourself a nice day," or whatever. But again, I don't know if he's trying to be sarcastic with us, but basically he's just telling us that he couldn't help us with our problem. He decided to cancel on us without our permission and decided to refund our money, even though we didn't ask for that. So I guess I didn't expect him to do that. I mean, it's nice that we're getting our money back, but still, he didn't have the rights to cancel on us. I mean, are you telling me that this guy... I mean, we end up purchasing something from this guy, and he decided to screw us over, not to help us, just because our situation is beyond his comprehension? That is... There's just no words to even describe how unbelievably... like, how... Seriously, I don't even know what to say, honestly. I don't even have the words. I seriously thought that my problem last year with a YouTube hacker was bad enough. But, I mean, I will admit last year was devastating. But I will say this year, when it comes to Sony Focus Pro, I don't think it's anything that is devastating, really. But it was getting, like, really fucking ridiculous. And it's getting really time-consuming. And it was just... I mean, it's just stupid and infuriating that we're not able to open up a link after you download a piece of software that won't allow you to do so. I mean, I don't know why that everything we tried and we were told that it's the right way to do something doesn't seem to fucking work. So, I just don't seem to understand. And I was really getting to a point where I thought I was just gonna go insane and I didn't know what the hell was happening. I feel like it's almost like as if the universe is fucking with you. It's like there's something there's like some kind of force in my life that's preventing me from doing this. And I'm just thinking, is everyone this stupid or this naive or incompetent that they can't even help us with our problem? Or am I doing something wrong? Or they just have to be there to see it? It seems like no matter how much advice we get, whenever we explain our situation, it's just beyond their reasoning, it's beyond their knowledge. And it seems like our situation, it just seems to be impossible to them. Seriously, what is so fucking hard to try to open up a file just so you can download something on your laptop that costs about $1,000, and yet it wouldn't... Like, I've never heard of a file that can't even open on its own once you order something, because it has to be a coincidence that two different owners gave us a code that wouldn't work. I mean, they can't be fraudulent. There has to be a real issue. It's almost like I can't trust anyone by this point. It's like the world has been screwing us over numerous times, and my grandma was just getting really sick and tired of it. I felt awful she has to put up with that crap because I don't blame her. I mean, this is kind of my problem I had to deal with. And for one thing, my grandma's not even an expert when it comes to computers, so we're just kind of in a situation where I have an elderly person who has a lack of expertise with computer issues, while I myself have just general knowledge of computer issues. And yet, even if I can understand the instructions of any issues I've done, they just never seem to work for me, and that's not even possible. So, after all that, I was just kind of at this point where, see, so here's the thing. When this other owner decided to cancel us, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think I give a shit anymore. I'm just done with everything. So, you know what? I decided that I would do things the hard way. I told my grandma I have a few options we could do. We could either, like, one, we could go to a different Best Buy store, like anywhere in the metro area, and see if we can talk to any Geek Store employee to make sure that maybe they have a different answer than the other employee we met with. Maybe it's just her that she didn't understand our problem. Maybe the others will have a different opinion. Or perhaps we could try to see if we could like go to the Anoka Rancher community. I'm sorry, hang on. I'm sorry, my sinuses is really congested. I didn't mean to interrupt right there. Sorry. Anyways, I was gonna say is, I think we could just go to Anoka Ramsey's Community College because I was thinking that maybe any of the employees in the computer lab there would understand our problem because there's no one in the world that we know who understands when it comes to computer issues or whatever. So I thought maybe we could do that, or the other option is if I could just try to re-download it, but try to install like the WinRAR because I decided to uninstall it because we thought it was causing us issues. So we decided to do the third option, and I was thinking, you know what, I want to read that email one more time from this other owner and see what he has to say about it. And so he explained, like I said before, he asked me to install the WinRAR, right? So I did that. And when I did so, here's the thing. Even though it was pretty brief and very not specific of what he told us to do, I decided that maybe I should just try to look up on YouTube and watch, like, and if there's any way how you can install. Sorry, I mean, I know how to install a WinRAR, but the issue is there's one little detail we didn't know what to do is to learn how to extract the WinRAR onto a file. We never done that before. So we try to learn how to extract it, so I watched his videos on how to do so. I did follow them, but then I think I might have screwed up in one way or the other. I decided to restart the installation, so I had to uninstall the WinRAR and then reinstalled it, because I think you had to click some sort of a certain link. So like open up this file. I decided not to click it off because I need it there just in case. So I can try to like double right click it on the laptop pad and see if I can try to extract it like that, which I couldn't do. But then I found out I can literally drag it off of that file and put it onto like the home page on my laptop. So I was like, oh my god, I think I did something. So I literally followed the steps. It looks like it's finally working for once because none of the videos we did ever worked for us in this case. And so I thought maybe God is answering an answer this time. Maybe it's finally going to work this time. So once we followed the steps, then I realized once I figured out how to extract it, I finally have the file opened up. And then once I was done with that, I decided to re-download that Sony Vegas Pro from the second owner. And what we did, for some reason, it actually looks different from the format when it's downloaded. This time, the download format was a smaller box, which I could tell looked very different from the one that we previously had before. So now I realized this was a normal download format. So I feel like, okay, now this is now gonna actually work for once. So we decided to wait for a little bit. I could tell it was loading faster than it used to be the last time. And when it finally loaded, I'm like, oh my god, was it finally downloaded? And when I decided to go on to my programs and features from my control panel, I just realized that it was finally installed. I'm like, oh my god, I installed the Facus Pro. But, however, now my other concern is, how am I supposed to open it up? So I decided to go on YouTube one more time, look up a couple of videos on how to open up the Sony Facus Pro. Once it was done, download it. And so I had to go through a few steps to see if I could try to like open it up. And when I did go through a few settings or whatever, again, I don't remember all the steps, but I know that I kind of document on my phone when I had to take pictures or videos or whatnot. And so once I followed a few steps and or so, I think we finally managed to at least open it up. And I'm like, oh my god, is this really happening? And when I finally opened it up, so we waited for it to download. And once it was downloaded, we thought, okay, is it finally going to open up? I was like, oh, it looked like it's completed. So we clicked finish. And then once we finished, it's like, okay, so now what? And I'm like, wait a second, it's not even open yet. And I was like, wait, are we missing something here? And then we decided to go on to YouTube one more time. And then I found a fail where you had to somehow try to learn how to open up through different files on my settings, on my documents or whatever. So I followed a few things and whatnot. And then I realized when I followed those steps, I have finally learned to manage to actually open it up. And guess what? It was opened, and I finally have a Sony Facus Pro 16 for once in my life. So after a whole entire month or so of struggling, bitching, and traveling all over to meet with experts to talk to us about our problem, and after asking numerous questions with these owners on eBay, and after watching all of those fails on YouTube on how to download and open all these different softwares, especially with the Sony Facus Pro, I realized that my long journey of suffering was finally over. I couldn't believe that after all that shit and all that praying I've been doing every single night, because I was at a point where I literally yelled at God when I was having dinner and begging him to help me to open up, because I told him I was going insane and I was getting nothing done. And because of the fact that we had nothing better to do this summer, I feel like I was a prisoner in my house for weeks because we didn't have any plans going on lately, besides maybe going to a few movies like several weeks ago with my family one time, and that was pretty much it. But for the most part, at least I finally got an answer, because I would tell you right now that if I didn't have my Sony Facus Pro, I probably would have just either given up on YouTube and just move on with my life, because I feel like the stress wasn't even worth all that pain, because you realize now that it's August and it's only a month before school starts. I couldn't wait any longer. And you have to understand that I need to get this stuff done this summer and not wait till fall, because as you should know, I need to manage my schedule in order for me to make sure if my schedule for my next semester wouldn't interfere with my schedule with my YouTube job, and see if it can work out. As you should know, I have not decided on what my courses should be for the next semester, because I didn't have a meeting with my true advisor in college. We haven't done it yet, and it wouldn't be like you see, the deadline for that is not till the end of this month. So I got more than a few weeks to get all this finished before I make a official decision if whether or not I want to continue to like take classes during the fall semester, or I should just not take the classes for this fall semester and wait for the next semester, because I didn't know that you can not participate in college but still be enrolled by not taking classes within one semester if you're concerned with your job or if you have other things to do. So I didn't know I could be on a lease to get off of college for a while, which I think that sounds great. But then again, I don't know if I want to like deal with a whole entire fall or winter without any school. So I don't want to take any risk right now. So either way, I guess I'm glad that I at least now have the Sony Focus Pro 16, because I will guarantee you I would freaking hurt someone if I don't, because seriously, let me ask you this question. If you were in my situation with the Sony trying to download, whether it's a Sony Focus Pro or a Windows Movie Maker or whatever you want to download, especially when you're doing this for a job, can you imagine dealing with more than a month or so of having to try to ask so many questions and asking anything with these people who think they can help you and tell you, oh, we're sorry, there's nothing we can do about it, you're on your own, go screw yourself or whatever. I mean, how would you feel and react if you had to go through anything like I have to go through? Just please ask me this. How would you feel if you had something to accomplish with a dream you have and none of you do, and all these obstacles seem to prevent you because it seems impossible, especially when it's just one stupid single little link for a download? I mean, how hard could that even possibly be? And it turns out that my situation only was the case not because they screwed me over. The real issue was due to the fact that not only the WinRAR could be the reason, or because we didn't know how the steps worked, because the owners didn't exactly inform us more specifically until I do more research online, but it also turns out that my laptop has not been upgraded in the last few years. So apparently, my grandma has to literally like refresh my whole entire computer. So I literally had to re-upload all my apps again because it was old and they had to be restarted all over again. And she realized that really was a problem. And guess what? She was correct. So I'm glad I finally got what I wanted, because I don't know what would happen if I don't get my YouTube job started this summer, because I cannot deal with being stuck in bed all day, staying up all night, and sleeping in the afternoon, and having like one meal a day, or not even to take a shower for weeks, just to deal with a computer issue for more than a month, because that is absurd. No one should suffer through that kind of pain like I have to go through. If anyone has ever had this kind of experience before, or if it's similar, I like to hear about it, because at least I'll feel better about it. But at least I know what the answer is now. Thank God I decided to take matters in my own hands, because my grandma didn't know what she was doing, and I had to take over and do everything. I took many risks to find out what could the issue possibly be. But I'm so glad at least she helped me in some ways, despite not being an expert in this kind of stuff. So now that I'm just done with this whole Sony Focus Pro issue, I would just want to just stop talking about it now, because I've gone way long enough telling you what the issue was and what caused this very long delay from not getting my YouTube channel started. Because seriously, I'm just so sick and tired of literally talking about this shit with my Sony Focus Pro. It is done and over with. I am not angry anymore. I'm not stressed. I just want to be done with it, and I just want to move on with my life. Thank God it's over. Okay, so now that I got that out of my system, and now you know why I've been gone for so long, which I apologize for such a long delay. Now I want to discuss about my plans about my YouTube channel, about when will my movie review series will start. Like I said, I did say I want to do it in July, and I was going to do so. And like I said, and the thing is, like I said a long time ago, I would have got my link uploaded. It would have taken like that week before that, because it wouldn't take that long. Because honestly, it would have took me like a week, and I would have gotten ready after all that if it were downloaded that long ago. So, but since that's not the case, I can't control that, and I can't control time either. So, either way, I know it's still summer, so I still have some time left to get some shit done. But, So I guess maybe it's a good thing that despite the Sony Vegas issue, throughout this whole summer, I did got my bedroom sounds. Sorry, I mean I got one of the bedrooms downstairs emptied out, and even though it's almost ready for my own studio, I okay. So to be more specific with you, if you really want to know what my pre-production is, sorry, I mean or my post-production, whatever you call it. So about a month ago, my grandma and I went to Walmart and we bought this big, gigantic setup table or my computer desk that I needed for my studio. So we finally bought that, and as of right now, it's not opened, but it is downstairs, and we need to somehow try to build it and set it up. And then, of course, I do have my black sofa, or sorry, my black recliner, which it's right over there, and I will be using that for my studio as well. So I actually needed. Hold on. I'm sorry, I thought I was gonna belch. So, anyways, we got the table, but we haven't set up just yet. And then I'm gonna take my recliner literally downstairs because my studio is literally in the basement. But of course, my grandma can't do it because she is old, obviously, and I don't want her to get hurt. So of course, I need to have like maybe one of my cousins come over and help me bring the recliner downstairs because I can't do this by myself. And of course, not only that, but I also need to repair some new light bulbs in the basement in my studio because the lights are out. And also, I think there's something else I needed for that studio. So in my studio, I'm just gonna have like something I need to sit on, and I'm gonna have a table or a desk that I needed in order for me to set up my laptop or to just do some work in editing or whatever. So of course, my room, that studio won't be decorated or whatever because this is gonna be a small channel anyways, and it's just, I mean, it's really just my own start of the series, and it's only technically just the beginning. So I'm not gonna be all fancy out there, and I don't really care how my presentation looks as long as I focus on my thoughts with whatever the movie I want to review. That's all that should really matter, because my channel can grow once I plan and figure things out of how my channel will go. So only the future can hold and see what will happen. So I'm not worried about getting another camera because I'm fine with the iPhone I have right now because the quality looks just fine. So I don't need to buy anything right now unless I can upgrade things in the future. But so yeah, you could say we're very close to getting my studio ready, and I think it'll take us like about a week because, like I already said, we need to set up my desk, take a recliner down, and fix the light bulbs. And I think that's basically all we have to do. I don't think there's anything else after all that we haven't forgotten about. But on my part, so besides set up my studio, I also need to do one thing that's more important, and that's having to create a script for myself. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I don't know if I have to like just type it down and then print it, or I'm gonna have to just type it down on my phone or my laptop and I have to read it or something. I don't know how that's gonna look. I'm still practicing or trying to decide what option I should do because every YouTuber does things differently, and I want to do some more research. So right now, I'm still practicing and training. I've become a YouTube movie reviewer. I'm taking small baby steps right now just to kind of figure things out. What advices or tips I should be taking, and also I'm trying to figure out what kind of equipments I needed. Which although I already got that set up, so also there is at least one thing I did prepared, and that is I already setting up my long list of different movies I'll be reviewing. So far I have like 21 movies on my list. However, the thing is it's just a draft, and so I don't know if I'll be reviewing all of that this year. And even if I wanted to like a month ago, I have my doubts because I think that's a lot of work. And of course, I think it'll take me like, say, like a week or so to edit my videos. Because I know for a fact that usually with most YouTubers, usually they'll only upload a new video like maybe like once a week or within the next 2 weeks or so. Because it usually takes them a long time when they have to do like productions, editing, and all that sort of stuff. And I can totally understand why. So it's no surprise because you can't just make a video each day because that's a lot of stress. And the fact that I have a life anyways, well, maybe I don't have any plans this summer, of course. But either way, since I got nothing better to do this summer, I am not busy with college or whatever. I need to get all this stuff done before school starts because I can't deal enough with the stress with so many assignments like I did in my last semester. I just can't deal with it. So why not have the opportunity to just get some work done while there's no other distractions that's going on with the summer? So so either way, I'm not gonna tell you everything what's on my list because, well, for one thing, I think they might be a bit of a spoiler, and plus, I don't think I want to talk anymore as much as I should because I've talked quite enough, and I really want to wrap up with this because I want you to know why I've been gone. I want you to know what my plans are. And I want you to understand that I have not forgotten. I have struggled and tried to get everything ready. And I don't want you to think that I make up excuses, that I'm not getting things done. And I still want you to be around with me because I do guarantee that things are going to be done. And my series will start eventually this month. I can guarantee you that. So, I just thought you should know that I really need to set up my schedule. I needed to know how things are going to be played out because you see, once I figure out what my schedule should be, once I get my first video uploaded, once I'm done with the editing, then maybe I'll see if I could get with the flow. So once I figure out what my schedule should be and what's the most comfortable for me in my case, and how I should balance my time management between balancing my personal life or with other or different community outings I have to do in the summer, or how to balance with my job, I need to make sure if it becomes less stressful, you can say. So, again, this is all new to me and I'm still learning. As for the acting, that's not a problem. I've been doing that quite a lot. Because, you know, you can say that with most actors, they will look themselves in the mirror, they talk to themselves, make facial expressions a lot. And of course, I do talk a lot to myself constantly when I'm alone. So that should not be a problem for me, of course. But I am concerned about jokes. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm still trying to figure out what my personality type should be. Although I am going to be authentic, I am going to be myself, but I don't know how I'm going to present myself and what type of style. So I need to figure that out. But anyways, so yeah, I have a few movies in store I might be reviewing, but like I said, I don't know if I'll be reviewing all of them. I think I might be able to only manage to review maybe say like 5 or 10 movies this year, unless if I'm doing good with, you know, with my schedule. But I can't guarantee you that. Again, I don't know how long my fails would last. No, sorry, I mean my fails usually would be like say like the shortest for me would be about 10 minutes, and maybe the longest would be like 30 minutes. So my running time for each video on my reviews would be about the same as any average movie review running time that would be. So at least I know quite enough about how long a review should last. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know how long it'll take for me to edit each video. But I will assume I will have to estimate it'll take me like a week or two before I upload each video. So if I do get my first video uploaded, keep in mind that you might have to wait for like a week or two before you wait for the next video, because I only will upload only one video per week. Because I don't know, I mean, when you think about it, most people can upload videos like maybe like 2 or 3 times a week, but when it comes to becoming a movie reviewer, it requires a lot of editing, practicing, and script writing, so I can't really do that. And I can see why it takes longer to upload a movie review, and it takes longer for them to do this every time. Not just because of requests, but because they need to get things done. And I don't blame them for that. So at least I know what I got myself into and what to expect. So either way, at least now that you kind of get the idea of what will be happening this month. So let's see. I already talked about how I haven't figured out about my Anoka Ramsey classes yet. I have, let's see, I talked about that. Oh, so I'm trying to remember something else. I didn't forget that might be important, but so yeah, I think if there's one thing I could say before I close on this is that so I guess I have enough equipment. I guess I will admit I haven't got my script ready, but I need to figure out which movie I should be reviewing first. But I will give you a hint though. I will be reviewing certain bad films that relates to Sony Animation and Pixar, and of course the Disney live action remakes. Oh boy, I'm gonna get into that because believe me, I've seen quite a few of those movies this year, except for Dumbo, of course. But I will look back at it eventually. But still, believe me, I will be doing those reviews. And I will be very honest with my opinion, regardless of what other people think of it. At least you can learn something, as long as I learn from other people's opinions as well. So, yeah, I still have to do more training research about this kind of stuff. But, so, I think that's all I have to say with why I've been gone and what my plans will be for this summer with my YouTube studio and all this stuff. So, oh wait, there is one that I do have to say. If you really wanted to know is when will my first video be ready, expect my first movie review series to begin, let's say, in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It could be sooner, just because I need to have like more than a week to get my script ready and my editing set up and ready. So it's gonna take a while for me to get some stuff done because I don't know how long this will take. But I will do it during the morning or the afternoon and take a break once in a while and make sure I get some crap done because I'm not gonna wait forever. Oh yeah, and as for Patreon, I'm gonna see if I can get that ready eventually. But I mean, I will set it up maybe, let's say, today. But the thing is, I will try to set up for today and all, but at first I was thinking maybe I should do that once I get my first video uploaded because I don't want to jump the shark right away because I'm not yet that popular. So either way, for those who've forgotten, I use Patreon as a form of my own ad revenue just because I don't trust YouTube with their ad-friendly policy. Because I don't want to risk being demonetized because it happens to both small and big channels. Because no matter what topic you bring up, whether it's controversial or not, you'll get demonetized for all sorts of very invalid and stupid reasons. I think YouTube is just biased in my opinion. I just don't feel comfortable trusting them with my own money and how much I get paid. So I think Patreon is a better option. And like I said, I do have personal goals about having to get ready for next year just for Tokyo and to get a car and especially to transfer to MCAT, which I'll be spending for the next 4 years at to study filmmaking and animation as my future career someday. But either way, oh wait, I forgot to kind of mention, I don't remember if I said this in my last video, but I am going to go back to, so like I kind of, see, I don't know if you remember this, but I may have said months ago that I was hoping I could transfer to MCAT this year, but of course I can't because I had to go back there for a third year, of course. So I'm not surprised by that. So I have to wait for next year to go to MCAT or whatever. I think that's I think that's pretty much all I have to say in this case. Well, actually, no, I think I have one more. I think I also have to upgrade my DeviantArt page because I haven't done anything with that for a while now. I also need to kind of I think I might set up my drawings. Like I'll probably post all my old drawings from my childhood eventually, like later this month. I don't know how. I can't guarantee you that honestly, but I will do some upgrades and refresh my page and make it a little newer this time. But so yeah, there's that. And keep in mind, I will also do commissions on animal transformations on DeviantArt, but I still need to practice on my drawing first for this month before it gets ready, like another month or so. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I really have to say in this case when it comes to my plans this summer and how my YouTube channel is getting ready eventually. So again, I encourage everyone, and I mean literally anyone, to support both my channel and you can also support me on Facebook or with DeviantArt if you're into drawings like I am. So either way, I want you to keep in touch with me with Facebook because that's the only way I can, make sure that I can make announcements about the things I do because I don't do vlog fails unless I only discuss about what's going on with my future channel. Since I'm not that much of a vlogger, but this is the only way I can able to get my word out there to everyone who doesn't go on the Facebook because that's where I do all my announcements on there for the most part. So and also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I need more subscribers. Even before I get my YouTube movie review series ready, because I'll tell you, it's probably going to be... I think I'll try to make it more original and more creative if I can. So, I am excited to be looking forward to it. I can't wait to just move on with my life and start this new chapter in my life to get my first job ready. Because I'm so excited to not just try to make money off of what I do for love. The things I do, what I love for this, what I'm be doing with my occupation. But I am also excited to express my thoughts or even the creative side of myself because I cannot wait to see not just what I have in store with the movie reviews, but maybe with other things like say I might do other ideas like a fail challenge type of ordeal, or I could do subscriber specials, or I could probably do a top 10 list because I always love to do a top 10 list of all the things I love when it comes to movies and all sorts of things from the media and all this stuff. And I also definitely cannot wait to literally just express let's see. I think I'll be doing something else. Oh yeah, and then I might think about doing a dramatic reading because I always love that kind of stuff. So yeah, just expect I'll be doing more than just movie reviews on my channel. But let's just see how things goes. So yeah, at least I'm glad I remembered that before I forgot to inform you guys about this. Just remember, I want to add more variety to my channel, of course. So yeah, please encourage this channel and please not only just encourage and support me on this channel, but please support me on Patreon because I do need money and I am desperate for it because my grandma doesn't make enough for herself and I need to make enough because I can tell you that $40,000 to get an MCAT is not even possible on her part and she doesn't think it's gonna happen because she thinks it's just unrealistic and I can understand why it is. There's no way she can do that and I don't blame her for it. So I need any supporters I can to help me reach the goal to make that much enough money or so in order for me to get in there for next year. So now that I explained everything, yeah, I think I can just confirm I have already said everything now. So now that I've got everything off my chest and there is nothing else I'm forgetting, I believe. And if I did forget something, I'll probably just post it on Facebook, whatever. But so yeah, that's all I have to say in this case. And so yeah, all I can say to everyone right now is I am truly, truly, truly sorry for delaying anything about what I promise I will be doing for this year. I know I've said I would get ready this summer, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience of everything I have went through. I was not happy about this for anyone else who isn't. And please, I don't want anyone to just end up unsubscribing to this channel because I'm still stuck at 4. And I understand that most of you either were impatient or you are just either want to give up on hearing anything I have to say because you just think I'm just trolling or I'm just either just make excuses to just delay everything, not getting things done, or maybe most of you can understand that I'm just struggling and you understand that I have a life and it's hard for me to balance my personal life, or I'm just spending time with my family because it's summer and it's quite obvious. But hey, I mean, we all have something busy to do. But so yeah, at least now you know the whole story. I guess again, I truly apologize for everything. I have to make everyone wait around and thinking that I'm just blabbering and not taking any action. I've been taking action, but it took a much longer than I should. I'm not really happy about it, but there's nothing I can do about it now. It is already done and over with. I need to just focus on the present and just focus on what's more important without making any more excuses or without any distractions. And I'm going to try to get my stuff done so I can get my job ready. And so, yeah, again, I don't ever make promises, but I will promise you that I don't know what week my first fail will begin, but I will promise you, I promise that I will get my movie review series setting up this month, and I will be available in contact to everyone. I will hear and listen to everyone's opinions. And remember, whenever you want to request any movie you want, I mean, even if it's on my list or not, because even though I haven't really explained to you what's on my list, but whatever you say, whatever those movies are, don't be afraid to just tell me what it is. Even if it is on my list, it doesn't matter. Don't even worry if you're being tedious or if you're pushing on me to review something. I don't have a problem with that. And I don't care how many comments I get. As long as I see a review, I guarantee you I will check most of them as much as I can. So if you have any movie requests, again, specifically, I only want to focus just on critically bad movies, whether it's a live action or a cartoon, whatever the case, I can do both. Because in my case, see, my style with my movie review series is going to be focused on a broad view. So you could say I'm on the Nostalgia Critic routine of reviewing all sorts of different films, whether it is different mediums or different genres of all sorts. So I can review any movie, no matter whether it's whether it's live action, animation, or whatever. I don't care whichever it is. Just as long as if it's a movie that is critically panned or whatever, I will review any of those. So yeah, I think that's all I gotta say in this case. Again, I haven't gotten no sleep as much, and I can tell I got on more than an hour now. And yeah, I guess I'm not desperate anymore, and I just feel like I just love having this conversation to anyone who cares about or whoever watches this video or any of my videos in the past for a while now. Because at least I feel confident that so far I've got a lot of I got a lot of views from most of you who have checked out a lot of my vlogs this year. And I'm glad that at least I'm not alone. And I'm glad that at least some people cared about my channel. And I don't know how many of you have ever checked out any of my other websites with Facebook or DeviantArt or whatever. But as long as I am aware that you're still around, I appreciate that. However, I do prefer to have more subscribers because I'm still stuck at 4 right now and I need more than that. But I won't be forceful by it because I know I'm not really popular yet. But I want to. I want to see what happens once I get my channel ready. And then we'll see what will happen once I get all that stuff out. Because once I have a good title or a thumbnail, whatever, that'll come out there, I hope it's a good presentation enough for someone to find interest in that video. And I hope I build up and I hope I pray that things would work out. And remember, I'm not just doing this just for the money, even though I'm doing it for a good cause, just because we're just kind of one of those, like, you see, I'm just a lower middle class average guy who lives with a grandmother who is a PC and legal guardian to me. But just keep in mind that I'm doing this because I love movies and I want to get my thoughts and my words out there. So I'm really giving out a piece of my own soul. and what I feel and think about anything when it comes to the media and anything that is cinematic related. So I would really appreciate it if you just still stay with me for a while, because like I said, I'm not going anywhere. Again, I promise I'm not making any excuses. We are all getting everything done as much as we could. So yeah, that's I'm so sorry. I don't know why I even bothered to start this video without a script. Yeah, this is why I need a script if I'm gonna do movie reviews. But anyways, I think that's all I have on my list of my reminder notes of what I need to say. So, anyways, I'm glad you had to put up with me and listen to my thoughts. If you're not bored of listening to more than an hour of people's conversations, unless you're in the vlogs. But either way, I'm gonna go back and rest in bed now. I'm gonna decide to get my Facebook ready. I'm gonna set up my DeviantArt now because I have finally made peace with myself. I said what I have to say, and now I'm gonna just move on and get my YouTube channel started. And I'm so excited to just get everything done that I should have started a long time ago. So get ready to meet your new YouTube movie reviewer. And I hope I will just be just as popular as any small channel of movie reviewers out there. Oh my god, I really am just so looking forward to just doing what I really want to do for a living. Oh my god, I can't imagine how my video is gonna look. I'm so sorry. My mouth is foaming from talking so much. I'm just really am so excited. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything I had to go through to get my soy focus and everything. Okay, I am done now. So, anyways, please keep in touch with me, and I will love to hear back what everyone has to say to me. Please subscribe. Please give me your comments. Please like this video. Or if you don't, it's fine. I'm not offended as long as you see my videos. That's all that matters. But anyways, please give me your comments and give me any requests, whatever you want. And please at least give me some words of encouragement after everything I've been through. So, anyways, we're going to finally move on. Life will be better. And I want you all to have a nice summer. So, I will see you in the next 2 or 3 weeks now. Peace!